I've got a 15-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son, and they're a little older now, but when they were babies, one of the things I used to love was when they would say, "Again, Daddy, again." It would let me know that, man, the fun isn't about to end yet. Well, unfortunately, on a project car, "Again, Daddy, again," is never a good sign. That means we've got to do something over that we've already done. We spent time, we spent money. So today I'm going to show you a little bit about some of the things that have to be done again. In many cases, these are tasks that have been done 2 or 3 times on this car already. But obviously they're not done yet. So we'll keep plugging away on this episode of PE Garage. Stay tuned. Okay, so here's what we have. This mount is made out of sheet metal, and the hood hinge is bolted to it. So I've got to figure out a way to mount this bracket to the clip. So the hood has been fit with quick release hood hinges. So you pull this pin, and there's a finger in the back, and this will come off, and that's great, but what that prevents is any front to back adjustment. So what I've got to do here is figure out a way to mount this so that it will slide so that I can regain my front to back adjustment. Now for a race car you wouldn't need this, you just Zeus it on and be done with it, but I was hoping that this thing would be a little tighter than that. So you see all the understructure, that's all going to have to be cleaned up. Back side of this fender, which I'll let you be the judge. I didn't do it, but I paid for it. And it's going to take a lot of work. We'll also have to make a new panel here. This has all been reworked. So the way this is designed to work, it's a quick pin here and a quick pin here, and the whole front end will come off. Now this is actually a cool design. It's got adjustment here so we can adjust the door gap by threading it out or threading it back in. So if you also notice a big gap here, so I'll have to figure out a way to mount that. Just all in all, it's a nightmare. There is just not a clean, good way to do this without a ton of work. So here's what I'm thinking of doing. This is used a lot in carpentry. This is aluminum slide channel. And so this will give me my front to back adjustment if I get these mounted. So what I'm thinking is coming up with a way to bolt these in place, and then the hinge will be drilled here, a couple of holes. This will be mounted to the hinge so it can slide front to back, and I'll regain that adjustment. So I'll have to take some 1/2" chromoly, maybe 3/4, I don't know, I haven't decided yet, and basically bend it up in my tubing bender. Come off of this bar over, make a flat mount here, and then either back in here or here, probably back, just simply to keep it away from the tire. Fun stuff I discovered. So I made all this tin work, and it was designed to fit together, but when it was welded in per NHRA specs, this panel is supposed to be over the top of this, so I have a nice clean line here. Well, it wasn't installed like that. So, not terribly happy with the way that looks. So I've got to come up with a way to cover that. Now granted, this thing's low slung and nobody will ever see it, but I know it's there. And that's not gonna work. It's not acceptable. So we'll have to redo that too. The passenger side has not been installed yet. NHRA rules do not, well I say NHRA, SFI rules do not dictate that the floor pans be welded in on the passenger side. So I could go straight carbon fiber over there if I wanted to, but we'll figure something out. So in the rear, really the next thing we need to do back here is install the carbon fiber tubs. But the bad news is they have been so scratched up and beat to pieces that I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to buy a new pair, recut them and remount them. So just one more thing that has to be done. This will now be the third time this car has had wheel tubs.